Alright, so good morning everyone. Hopefully kamu dah bangun, dah mandi, dah gosok gigi semualah, bukan di atas tilam Okay, so hari ni teacher akan masuk topik 8.2. If you have your textbook, you can refer to that textbook 8.2. If not, I'm going to just tell you here lah. Okay, 8.2 adalah berkenaan measures of dispersion. Okay, this is all about statistics. Okay, first dalam 8.2 kita akan belajar pasal range. Okay, range is simple. Dia nak cari range, you ambil largest value, tolak smallest value. It's as simple as that. Okay, so kalau saya, I always do comparison raw data and frequency table punya data. Raw data meaning macam biasalah kita tengok example 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 7, 10. Okay, so you have a set of data. So this is what I call as raw data. Okay, so now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 8 terms. Okay. So bila kamu dapat this set of data, what we call as raw data, range, just pick the largest value. So if you see here, 10 is the largest value and the smallest value is 2. So range will equals to 10 minus 2. So 8 lah. As simple as that. Okay. So nak cari range, you do not need to arrange your data in ascending order. Okay, but after this, after range, there is importance in arranging data in ascending order. Okay, so ada 8 terms, so that is range. Now if I have a frequency table, so this is an example that I took from your textbook. So frequency table, you have 2 things. You have the score, you have number of pupils. Make sure you do not take frequency. So first identify dulu which one is your frequency. Of course, number of pupils will be your frequency, F. Okay, therefore score is my data actually. Okay, jadi kita akan pilih among the data. So the highest data would be 8 and the smallest one is 2. So range, as simple as that, the largest value is 8. You minus the smallest value which is 2. So you will get 6. Okay. So that is easy. That's it. Easy, very easy. So this one, saya rasa in exam will only give you 1 mark kot rasanya. It's very simple. Okay, now this is what I want to go into in depth. Please, if you don't understand, you can just interrupt me or you can raise your hand. In Teams, you can raise your hand. Okay, like what I'm doing right now, I'm raising my hand. So there's a hand icon beside your name. So I will stop and layan kamu lah. Okay. So now, the next subtopic we're going to go into interquartile range. Okay. So interquartile range, usually we put as symbol dia SQ. Okay. There's no number. Kalau kamu tengok sebelah kanan ni Q3 and Q1. Okay, interquartile range, Q3 means the third quartile. And then Q1 is the first quartile. Okay, I'm going to tell you what quartile are. Okay, interquartile range formula dia adalah when you find your third quartile, you minus your first quartile. Okay, so the same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to do a comparison between raw data and also frequency table. So we go first into raw data. Okay, if you see A and B, there's a difference in the number of data. The number of data here we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data. Okay, so you have 11 data. And B, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 data. Okay, so there's a difference. We're gonna compare. Alright, first we go to the A first. Okay, bila you have data, this kind of data, first find your median. Okay, the first thing you do, you find your median. So median, of course, we have learned before, if you want to find your median, you have to arrange in ascending order first. You have to arrange your data in ascending order and then cari yang tengah-tengah. So now if you have 11 data, of course, the 6 data will be your median here. Okay, so this is my median. Okay, now we're going to focus. Median will be our breakpoint. Kita akan pecahkan ni. Allah. So there's 1 and then 2. Okay, I'm going to break it into 2. Okay, and then my group A and group B. Okay, in my group A, I'm going to look for the middle data. So the middle one will be 6. Okay, in group B, my middle data will be 20. So 6 is actually my first quartile and 20 will be my third quartile. Okay, that's how you find it. And then interquartile range, will equals to third quartile minus first quartile would be 20 minus 6. So this will give me 14. So my interquartile range is 14. Okay, that's how you do it lah. Alright, so next we go to B. So first things first, of course, we're going to look for our median. Okay, so first our median, since we have 9 data, so my fifth data will be my median. So this one, 19. Alright, so make sure it is in ascending order. So this is my median. So now I have 2 set. So if you look, my A and my B, we have 4 data. So in the middle is actually in between 2 datas. Okay, in between. So in between 14 and 14 and also in between 20 and 21. So as usual, we have learned before, if the data is in between, so my first quartile will be 14 plus 14 divided by 2. We take the average. So the answer will be 14. So my third quartile, 20 plus 21 divided by 2, I will get 20.5. Okay, So my interquartile range third quartile minus first quartile we get 80.5 minus 14, which is 6.5. Okay, so there's a difference between raw data in A and also in B. So if you look in A, my group A has a middle data, but in B, my group A has no middle data, so we take average. Okay, so this is how we handle raw data, how we find interquartile range using raw data. Okay, so now if the question gives you a frequency table, okay, so if you are given a frequency table, so there's one thing that you have to add in your frequency table. Okay, this is what I've highlighted here. This is what we call as cumulative frequency. Kamu kena tambahlah cumulative frequency dekat bawah table kamu ni. Conteng saja sebab ini tidak ada markah. Even if you do it, there's no marks. Okay, so letak kat bawah. So cumulative frequency, this is how we do this. Okay, now I'm adding another row to include cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency, we are looking, my score is actually my data, number of pupils is my frequency. So this is, I label as X, this is F, frequency. Okay, here comes. Okay, cumulative frequency adalah collective frequency daripada mula sampai akhir. Okay, for example, now I have 3. For the first data, I have 3 frequency. So cumulative frequency for the first one is 3. Alright. And then the next data, I have 5. 3 have 5 data. Okay, my data X, which is 3, has 5 times. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. 5 kali frequency. So total frequency I have now is 3 plus 5. So now I have 8. Okay, 3 plus 5. So I have 8. And then now my next data is 4. So from 8, I have plus 6. I will get 14. Okay, so now from data 2 to data 4, I have 14 datas. Okay, this is what cumulative frequency is. Alright, and then 14, next data, which is 5. 14 plus 8 will give me 22. And then so on. Next, 22 plus 12 will give me 34. And 34 plus 7 give me 41. And then 41 plus 3 will give me 44. So in my set of data here, I have 44 data. Okay, so if you want to check, here number of pupils here, you tambah saja. 3 tambah 5 tambah 6 tambah 8 tambah 12 tambah 7 tambah 3, you will also get 44. Okay. So that is cumulative frequency. Now, why do we need to calculate cumulative frequency? So here is why. Because when we are finding interquartile range, I need to identify my first quartile and also my third quartile. So now this is not written as raw data. So I cannot look which one is in the middle. So now through cumulative frequency, I know that I have 44 datas. Okay. So I will do a timeline for you to better understand. Saya akan buat timeline Okay. Saya ada first data yang pertama and then I have 44 data. Okay. So in the middle, saya akan pecah dua kan. You will have two set of data. Because dia ada 44, you don't have a middle data. Kita tak ada. So there will be 22 and then sebelah sini akan jadi 22. So my A is 22, my B also have 22 data. Okay. So saya kena identify my 22nd data dengan my 23rd data. Okay. Now, senanglah nak identify. So when we have cumulative frequency, so the first one says this is the first three data. Okay, jadi kalau saya tulis dekat my table, my line, first until third data, my data is 2. First until third data, my data is 2. Okay. And then back to cumulative frequency, the next is until 8. So third to 8th data, my data is 3. And then so on lah. Until, if you see here, in my cumulative frequency, I have 22. So my 22nd data is actually 5. Okay. So now I put here there is 14. So until 14th, my data is 4. 14th until 22nd, my data is 5. So my 22nd data is actually 5. And then my 23rd data, of course, is going to be 6. 23rd until 34th. Okay. So that is how cumulative frequency works. Okay, now with this line in group A. So I have 22. So I have to further break group A into 2. So since 22, I also don't have a middle data. So I have to put 11 and also 11. So I have to identify my 11th data and also my 12th data. Okay, so kita tengok Yang ke-11 dan yang ke-12, 1 hingga 3. Belum lagi. Yang ke-8. So kat sini, 11 dan 12 saya ada di tengah-tengah sini. Okay, jadi data saya adalah 4. So my first quartile will be 4 plus 4 divide by 2 equals to 4. Okay. And then Kita pergi pula yang ke sebelah group B. Sama juga, dia akan 11 dan 11. Okay. Tapi kena ingat, dia start dengan 23 Data yang ke 23 dia start. So kamu kira lah. 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. So kita kena cari yang ke 33, 33 dengan 34. Data 33 dan 34 saya. So kalau kamu tengok dekat sini 33 dan 34 sudah ditulis. So my data will be 6. So third quartile is 6 plus 6 divided by 2 equals to 6. Hence, my interquartile range would be 6 minus 4, which is 2. Okay, so now that is how we do or we find our interquartile range using frequency table. Okay, so if you still don't understand, you can just replay the recording. And then if you don't understand any part, you can just ask me or your class teacher. Okay. So now we recap to find interquartile range. If you have raw data, then there's no problem. Okay, group A and group B. Now, if you have frequency table, of course, you have to find your median. Okay, so just secara kebetulan kat sini median kita, there's no exact value. So kalau data frequency table saya ada middle data, median, so senang lagi lah. So tak adalah susah begini. Okay. So next, I'm gonna go